McVay was hitting 250. No longer. And he hit his 15th double. Bregman did not hit. Springer only got one. So where did the rest of them come from? Brantley didn't get a hit. But then there's this rookie. His name is Jordan Alvarez. And in case you have never heard of him before, and we're going to talk some more about him in a few minutes, but just in case you've been, let's say, in the Himalayas and have had no contact with the world for the last, 3 months, and maybe you've never heard of him, but and for those people, here I am to save your day. Jordan Alvarez, 2 for 3. His 11th home run. Thank you, Homer Bailey. He now has, are you ready for this? And you know he hadn't played long. 35 RBIs already. He got 2 more last night, and he walked twice. So not only is he hitting 342, his on-base percentage is incredible, and he's a slugger of monumental proportions. Yuli Gurriel, who I was talking bad about a few weeks ago. I understand he heard my show, and he said, I'm going to show Arnie that I am a great player, and he'll start promoting me on his show that thousands of people love to listen to. And he did. Way to go, Yuli. I mean, you just have done it. And your brother Mortis has followed suit. The Gurriel brothers have just been a hitting tandem. Can't you imagine playing on the same team? Maybe the all-star team. But Yuli Gurriel, 3 for 3 last night, 3 RBIs. Hit his 19th home run. That's something he hadn't been doing. In the past, Gurriel has been a line drive kind of hitter. And now he's a home run hitter. 19 already on the year. But the Astros weren't done. Chirinos. There's the catcher I said draft. 3 for 4 last night. And Alonso Diaz comes off the IL, gets a hit, scores 2 runs, drives in 3. The Astros collectively pile on with 13 hits, 11 runs. They beat the A's 11-1. Bailey gave up 9 earned in 2 innings, 3 homers. That looks like a great trade for the A's, don't you think? Hitting-wise, he only had 2 hits. Marcana got a hit. Chapman got a double, so did Cana. So you have 2 doubles in the game. That's it for the Oakland A's. They lose 11-1. They fall 7.5 games behind the Houston Astros in the division. They play each other again today. And in that game today, pitching for both of these teams, for the A's, it's Mike Fiers. He's 9-3 with a 3.64 ERA. And for the Astros, it's Wade Miley. He's 8-4 with a 3.25 ERA. I'm looking for Houston to unload again. If I'm playing daily fantasy today, I'm grabbing me some Astros. The Astro A game, I want Astros. The Yankee Twin game, I want players from both teams. I think you're going to see some runs scored there. Looking at the wild card this morning, Cleveland. Watch out for the Tribe. And are they trading Trevor Bauer? Capital N, capital O. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. That talk was premature, just like the talk of trading Matt Scherzer in Washington. Premature. Look, never count out teams with truly great pitching. And we know when it comes to playoff time that what matters the most, it's a different world. It's a different season. You play by different league rules almost. What became an offensive show in the regular season becomes who's got the best pitching in the playoffs. Cleveland, Kluber's coming back. Bauer, Bieber, Clevenger. You got 4 potential aces on Cleveland's team. They don't have to score a lot of runs. Although last night they did score 7. Although they now have a run differential in the positive, which is positive 49. which is in the top 7 in the American League. Those numbers continue to improve. The Tribe, they're 32-21 at home. They're 26-20 on the road. Ramirez has started to hit. Now, I think personally Ramirez is a July-August kind of hitter. I don't think he ever has shown me much in the month of September. I don't know why I would think he would show me any differently this year. But his average is up to 235. And remember, it wasn't that long ago he was in the 190s. He's got 10 home runs, 47 RBIs, 21 stolen bases. He's 4 for his last 8. And he's heating up. And they're 2 games up in the wild card. Oakland has that second wild card this morning at 57-44. Tampa, a game out of the wild card. Boston, 2 out of the wild card. The Angels, 5 out of the wild card. And the Angels beat Seattle last night 9-3. They now are 52-49. They've won 7 of their last 10. We've talked about the Angels a lot on this show. Do they have enough to make a run? And are the Angels potential traders, buyers, as we get closer 8 days from now to that all-important trade deadline, and the Angels are playing the Dodgers starting today? Pena going for the Angels at Dodger Stadium. He's 7-3 on the year against Kenta Maeda, who's 7-6. I don't have a lot of confidence in Maeda from what I've seen so far this year. Pena's pitched good at times. And do the Angels have enough to make a run? We'll see. Texas, they're 6.5 out. They lost last night 7-3. In that game, they're talking about trading Lance Lynn, maybe talking about trading Mike Minor. Sampson, 5 1/3 last night, 6 earned runs. Andrus went 2 for 4, breaking out somewhat of a extended slump. He's hitting 291 on the year. They're talking about trading Hunter Pence. Odor went 3 for 4 last night. I'm not buying Roughton Odor. Are you? He'll do that, you know. He will play pretty well for a game or two and then go back on this 5-game skid. I'm just not buying Roughton Odor. Beach Bum talking about Ramirez, I guess, tanking in the second half. I think this year you're going to see a little bit different because it's showing signs of hitting now, but he never hits the ball well in September. But those are your wild card. Everybody else is more than 10 games out. So traders, and we've talked about which teams might be trading in the American League, is Texas now going to be a seller? Talking about trading Pence and Minor and Lynn, and certainly I think they are. I don't think the Angels are sellers yet. I think you got the Angels, Boston, Tampa, Oakland, and Cleveland. You got 5 teams who legitimately think we can make the wild card. And, of course, the Angels have Mike Trout. So you can never really count out a team close to the peripheral of getting in when they have that type of player. But the White Sox, the Mariners, the Rays, not the Rays, the Jays. Can't read my writing. Seattle, Toronto, Kansas City. Let's do it that way. The White Sox, Seattle, Toronto, Kansas City, Detroit, and Baltimore. They're all going to be movers. Jack says, who would want Lance Lynn? Well, you remember, was it last year the Yankees did? And he's pitched pretty well at times. I don't trust him. I don't want him. But Oakland, remember, they signed Homer Bailey. Would you rather have Homer Bailey or Lance Lynn? If I put a gun to your head, Jack, and said, you got to take one of them, go ahead and tell me in the chat room. I've put a gun to your head, guys. Who are you going to take, Lance Lynn or Homer Bailey? And Oakland has already gone out and signed Homer Bailey. I prefer Lance Lynn if that's my choice. And if I'm really hungry for a pitcher and I can get him on the cheap, and if you get Lance Lynn, you can get him on the cheap, then you go get him. Kansas City. Yeah, I agree. Kansas City, are they trading their closer, Ian Kennedy? Ian Kennedy has pitched really well lately. Detroit, where's Shane Greene going to land? Is he going to be a Dodger? Is he going to be a Brave? Toronto, there's so much talk about Stroman. Is Stroman the first one to move of the big name players? And who gets Marcus Stroman? The Braves? The Yankees? You know, we speculate, but we read all, where there's smoke, there's fire. We read all this stuff. We know they're going to be big moves. And it's just like somebody's waiting for the first chip to fall. And the problem is with some of these guys, there's only one of them. So why aren't teams jumping now, 8 days to go before trade deadline? Because there are no waiver trades this year. July 31 is it. Seattle, D. Gordon. I mean, I know he got hit in the back with a throw to first last night. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I do know he got a hit last night. I do know he got 3 hits on Sunday. And I was talking about yesterday, why don't the Cubs get D. Gordon? And I know the Cubs probably want an arm, but if I'm trading and I'm the Cubs, they don't have a leadoff hitter that I like. D. Gordon leading off in Chicago, facing all those right-handed pitchers in that Central Division. I mean, take a look at who the Cubs play from now on. If you look at that division, and I'm just asking the rhetorical question, how many dominant left-handed pitchers, D. Gordon being a left-handed bat, are living in the Central Division of the National League? Do the Reds have any starting left-handed pitching that you can think of? I know Wood's coming back, but I'm talking about today. Do the Pirates? Do the Cardinals? All of these teams are loaded with right-handed starting pitching, and to me, a trade for Chicago to get D. Gordon makes all the sense in the world. And the only team Seattle has a better record than in the American League is Toronto, Kansas City, Detroit, and Baltimore. Blech. I mean, that just tastes bad saying it, doesn't it? Domingo Santana, another Seattle player. He's no fielder, okay? Take him out of the National League picture. But is there an American League team that could use a right-handed bat? Maybe a platoon bat, maybe off the bench. Santana's hit this year. And if you look at his numbers, I mean, he's been the kind of player that, you talk about serviceable, well, at times he's even been more than that. But Seattle, they would love to deal him if they could. So, just, thoughts about where players might go, who might be trading. Seattle, Domingo Santana, he's hitting 274. 19 home runs this year and 65 stolen bases. 65 stolen bases. 65 RBIs. 6 stolen bases just to chip in a little extra flavor. So all these players are going to be traded, or should be. It's just a matter of who and where do they land. Unholy Toledo says, I can't stand Strope. Well, the Cubs talking about, I think they should get D. Gordon. I keep hearing Chappie talk about how Morrow may be coming back. Chappie, if you know more about Morrow, let me know. But I have no confidence in Morrow at this point. And the Cubs have added Kimbrel, and he's now pitching into shape. He's looked really good his last few starts, I think, from seeing him. Now, I watch him on television. Some of you guys may have watched him in person. But I think Kimbrel is exactly what the doctor ordered in Chicago. Now, if they were to go out and get another bullpen arm to set up, that would be a great move. And as I look at these players,